Good morning and welcome to Bishkek. I'm walking on a little bit of bumpy path at the minute, but how's it going? We are in Kyrgyzstan for the weekend. I'm just going to explore Bishkek and then head off up to the mountains, and we're really looking forward to it. Today we are exploring Panfilov Park, which is the main park in Bishkek, and Panfilov and his 28 men, if you've seen our video from Almaty last year, where they also have a Panfilov Park, is part of the founding myth of the USSR and modern Russia and all that. Him and his men in the Second World War are said to have held off 2 German battalions and things like that. Just 28 of them, 29 of them. Whether they actually did it or not is a bit of a big question. There's probably a lot more than 28 men, and there's a little bit of criticism of the story, but it's a bit like 300, where the Spartans held off the Persians with just their 300 men.
I know where we can go, where the sunrise lasts forever.
We have found a market for Anna to peruse and find carpets and knickknacks and tic-tacs and all that sort of stuff. But I have just realised that the Kyrgyz flag looks exactly like the light shining through the roof of a yurt. We were just inside a yurt taking some pictures, and the little bit of light on the ground looks exactly like the Kyrgyz flag.
Just run away with me, darling. We'll get real lost. We'll get real lost again. Just run away with me, darling. We'll get real lost. We'll get real lost again.
One of the things I'm loving about here is just the sheer amount of trees that they have. We're living in Astana at the minute, and there are no trees really, which is a bit of a shame, but having trees in the place in a city makes it feel so much better, so much more comfortable. Here we have the classic statue to all the women who fought or performed some duties in the Second World War. And if there's one thing that you can say about the Soviets and socialists, it's that it did celebrate women. Like, the size of this statue is much bigger than any statue of the men around the place. It's fantastic.
Kiss the sky goodnight.
This is most definitely one of the best clocks I've ever seen. So one of the things I love about being in post-Soviet countries is seeing all this amazing architecture that they built. All this constructivism and the Soviet realism, street art, things like that. I think it's incredibly beautiful, but it's all sort of just left to rot. And it makes it a little bit sad, but it's incredibly beautiful, I think. I know there's plenty of people who disagree with me, probably especially people who live here, but I'm entitled to my opinion. This is Victory Square. Not exactly what victory it's celebrating, possibly independence from the USSR. Don't know if they had to fight a war against Russia to become independent or not. But it's quite a pretty little square with this big sort of arch thing and an eternal flame and some statues all over the place. It's quite pretty, really. We've got some wedding pictures being taken, but look at these guys carrying equipment into war. As we were leaving the park, Anna spotted a sign that said 1941 to 45, so it must be to celebrate victory in the Second World War, which started here in 1941 and not 1939 or 1938 as in Czech. That guy's face is hilarious. So here we are in the sort of central square of Bishkek. Got this massive flag. These countries love having massive flags. It's the same in Jordan, it's the same in Kazakhstan. Apparently though the biggest one is in the UAE because, well, they've got to have the biggest of everything. Down here at the very bottom is the National Museum, National History Museum, and really it's in a very beautiful building, I think. I really quite like it. It's fantastic. And this here is the Friendship Monument, this big Kyrgyz man riding a horse into battle. There you go, friendship. And really, I should be a Kyrgyz person, or Central Asian perhaps, because the amount of fountains that they have, and you know, I do love fountains.
At night was born to find mythical, so mystical thing.
I just caused a bit of a stir in the square there by putting the drone up. Not trouble with the police or anything like that, but pretty much everybody just immediately gathered around me. There was 20 children and the local photographers who stand there taking pictures of the tourists for them, and they all came over and wanted to see what was happening and it was all very strange. But I guess if they've never seen a drone before. This is a newer piece, and it's in the same style as the other Soviet art from all over the city. But what it is the Kyrgyz people caught between good and evil, pushing evil over. Which, I guess it's an easy message to understand, it's not too difficult, and that's sort of what public art should be. And that's another thing that I love about post-Soviet cities, is just the amount of green space, the amount of trees, the amount of street art all over the place. I think it's amazing. And again, while not everybody would like it all, it makes everything seem so comfortable and so nice. Now surely they weren't necessarily nice places to live at the time, but and maybe still not now even, but just it's fantastic. These two guys, if you hadn't guessed, are Marx and Engels. Just sitting in the pub, whichever London pub was their favourite, the Red Lion or something, having a little chat about how to destroy capitalism. And Marx is all like, "Here mate, let's destroy capitalism." And Engels is like, "Have you read my book, The Condition of the Working Class in England?" And Marx is like, "Oh, I maybe got through the first chapter, but you know, I'm trying to write my own book, Capital. There's some good analysis in it, but you need a bit more dialectics." And Engels is like, "I hate you, Marx." Lenin is here! Now, I sort of had a quick thought, like, why haven't they torn down the Lenin statue? They've probably torn down all the ones of Stalin. But actually, certainly in Russia, I know that Lenin is still liked, although they hate Stalin, because he did make things better, or seemed to make things better for a while. So perhaps here as well, Lenin is they still like him. Of course, that wouldn't happen in the Czech Republic, but that's by the by. And finally we have a play park that they've built on what presumably was just a normal park. Except the strange thing about this park is that from the top the paths that have been built look like a pentagram. Why that is, I have absolutely no idea. But that's just the way it is. And they've got a lovely little fountain right at the very centre. They have really the stupidest rides here. Who would ever go on such a thing? It's the same in Kazakhstan, I just don't understand it. Why on earth? Why? I'm not sure if you can hear the birdsong at the minute, but it's lovely and beautiful. There's a couple of thrushes or something just up on this tree, and it's just singing away and making lovely music. So, that is us for today. Hit like if you enjoyed it, click subscribe if you want to see more, and do comment down below if you think I've missed anything, or if there's anything more that you want to teach me about this place. It's fantastic, I really, really like it. Feel really comfortable here, and everybody's been super polite. which isn't the case in a lot of places actually. Not everybody is polite all around the world, but here they seem to be. So thanks very much, and see you later. Bye!